The biggest myth in wealth management is that if you have $1 million to $30 million, you should just hand your money to a financial advisor and trust the process. That advice isn't just wrong. It's likely costing you six figures a year in fees, missed tax strategies, and investment opportunities your advisor doesn't even know exists. I'm Christopher Nelson, and after studying how the ultra wealthy actually manage money and building my own version of it, I've proven that there's a better way. It's called the micro family office, and in this video, I will show you how to build one from scratch in 4 phases. Let me paint the picture of what this actually looks like and why it's costing you more than you realize. The wealth management industry is built for 2 types of clients. The first is the mass market, people with $100,000 to maybe $500,000 who get cookie cutter portfolios, generic 60-40 stock bond allocations, and advisors who are often product salespeople with a fancy title. The second is the ultra wealthy, families with $100 million or more who have access to dedicated single family offices, full-time teams, private equity investments, sophisticated tax strategies, and institutional grade everything. And if you're sitting somewhere between the $1 million and $30 million of investable assets, you've fallen into what I call the financial service desert. You've outgrown basic personal finance, but you're not wealthy enough for those exclusive family office arrangements. So you get handed the same cookie cutter advice as somebody with $100,000 at a higher price point. Here's what I want you to understand. You do not need $100 million to access institutional grade wealth management. And you don't need $3 million in annual overhead. What you need is a system. That's exactly what the microfamily office gives you. Your own lean wealth management business built on the same core operational components that run a $100 million single family office. It's just scaled down using the lean methodology, keeping the processes that drive 90% of the results and cutting everything else. Fractional specialists instead of full-time staff, modern technology instead of expensive infrastructure, proven frameworks instead of starting from scratch. The framework that I use to build is called Wealth Ops, and it has 4 phases: architect, build, run, and succession. Let me walk you through each one. Phase 1 is architect. Most people jump straight into picking investments. This is like building a house by starting with the furniture. The architect phase is about getting crystal clear on strategy before you make another investment decision. First, you create your legacy statement. This is not just a feel-good exercise. This becomes your North Star for every single financial decision going forward. Are you building for early retirement, generational wealth, a specific lifestyle for your family? Those answers change everything about how your portfolio should be structured. Write it down, make it specific, and do not rush it. This is the foundation that everything else is built on. Second, you develop your investment thesis. This is the strategic playbook that translates your goals and risk tolerance into specific, actionable investment criteria. It's the filter every opportunity has to pass before it earns a place in your portfolio. Based on your timeline and goals, what asset classes actually make sense? What percentage goes into income generating investments versus growth investments? What's your target allocation and why? Every billion-dollar family office operates with a documented investment thesis. That is not a coincidence. And third, you complete a comprehensive assessment of where you are right now. Current assets and liabilities, current operations, and current team. You're looking for your gaps. This honest baseline becomes your starting point for everything that you build next. With those 3 in place, you know exactly where you're going and exactly where you're starting from. That's the architect phase. Phase 2 is build. This is where strategy becomes structure. This is where you stop planning and start executing. And there are 3 main focus areas. First, you build your legal and tax foundation. This is where you establish what I call the 2-company architecture, the entity structure that separates your assets from your operations and creates the infrastructure for everything that follows. Once this structure is in place, it unlocks 2 main things, most $1 million to $30 million investors never access. Real asset protection, and then what I call the deduction stack, a layered set of tax strategies that compound over time and that most CPAs have no training on. Second, you build your organizational chart and bring on key partners. And here's what's different about the microfamily office approach. You're not hiring a full-time team like a $500 million single family office. These are fractional roles, specialists that you engage with when you need them on a monthly retainer or on a project basis. What does this look like in practice? A tax strategist who plans the year ahead, not the year that just ended. An estate attorney who understands your goals and complete microfamily office structure, and a bookkeeper ensuring that you have clean, segregated books, including your personal books. Your role? CEO, ensuring these experts are aligned with your goals and holding them accountable. And third, you build your data and visibility layer. This is your consolidated view of everything, every account, every entity, every investment in one place. Many people have their wealth scattered across 5 different platforms with no unified picture. A brokerage account here, a 401k there, real estate held in an entity somewhere else. You can't run a business that you can't see. And right now, most people can't see a complete picture of theirs. When this is built, you stop reacting and start managing. You know what's performing and what's not, and where your next move should come from. It's the difference between hoping your wealth is working and knowing that it is. Next is phase 3, run. Once you're operational, it's time to move into the run phase. This is where your microfamily office becomes a living, breathing business. The run phase operates on a predictable rhythm. This is what I call the run cycle. Every quarter, you run the same cycle. You plan, you assess, you divest from what's underperforming, and you invest according to your thesis. Same steps every quarter: monitor, operate, learn, and optimize. That's the rhythm. And this isn't a week's worth of work. This is a few dedicated hours focused on specific aspects of your microfamily office. Then annually, you develop an actual forward-looking business plan for your portfolio. Clear objectives, measurable outcomes, quarter over quarter. You're not reacting to the markets. You're running a real business. And here's what surprises most people who implement this. The results accelerate faster than you expected. When you consistently measure and manage your portfolio this way, the stress of feeling like you're leaving money on the table disappears. Because you're not. And lastly, phase 4 is succession. Most people spend their entire lives building wealth and almost no time preparing it to outlast them. Phase 4 is where your microfamily office transitions from wealth building machine to a wealth transferring one. This is the succession phase, and it's what separates families who build wealth from one generation from families who build it for every generation that follows. The work here is straightforward but rarely done. You're putting governance structures in place, who has authority, how decisions get made, what the rules of the road are, and you're preparing the people who will inherit this business to actually run it. Because here's the reality. If you don't prepare your microfamily office for succession, you haven't built generational wealth. You've just managed your own money very well. Phase 4 ensures the work doesn't end with you, but it multiplies. Let me put some real numbers on what changes when you operate this way. Cost efficiency is dramatic. A traditional single-family office requires $2 to $3 million per year minimum. A properly structured microfamily office typically runs between $10,000 and $75,000 annually, depending on size and complexity. And it often pays for itself through smarter tax strategies alone. For example, when I hired my current certified tax planner, I paid them $10,000 and they saved me $25,000 that year alone. Beyond cost, you get real control. Instead of wondering what's happening with your money, you know exactly where every dollar of it is, why it's there, and what it's supposed to accomplish. And it scales with your wealth instead of becoming a bottleneck. These are 3 of the core reasons I manage my own portfolio using this framework. Now, I can hear the concern. Christopher, this sounds like it would take over my life. Honestly, the build phase does require focused time. A few months of 5 to 10 hours a week to get the structure, the team, and the visibility layer in place. That's not nothing. But once you're operational, the ongoing commitment is lighter than most people expect. A quarterly review, monthly check-ins with your fractional team, mainly your bookkeeper. The system runs between cycles. The goal is not to add a second job. It's to build infrastructure that makes your wealth manageable and then step into the CEO role of running it. If you have between $1 million to $30 million in net worth and you're ready to actually implement this, I would love to have you on our next live workshop. It is a 2-hour deep dive into implementing the architecture phase for your microfamily office. You will walk away with a legacy statement, an investing thesis, and a portfolio structure tailored to your goals. At the time of recording this, we have had over 1,000 people just like you come through this workshop. Head to wealthops.io/go or click the link below this video to register. Our next workshop is likely in just a few days. And after you sign up, check out this video of the evergreen portfolio structure that we go deep into in the workshop.